MacDonald had a farm, E-I-E-I-O. And on his farm he had some pigs, E-I-E-I-O.
The Agriculture Ministry is assisting with the production of pigs through the piggery division of the Agro Parks Heart Academy in Clarendon.
Keeping the production line going. Hi there, I'm Audrey Williams, and you are watching Jamaica Magazine. We'll continue that pig production feature in a little while and take you into the field to meet the hard-working farmers of the Agro Parks, then share some vital information on earthquake preparedness. Stay with us. It promises to be an informative program. We join Andrea Chisholm at the news desk right after this message.
You as parish managers, you as regional managers know your role to do your inventory now, to see what you have and to mobilize the country. Outreach with communities, outreach with civil societies, outreach with the churches. That is what we are going to do. We are going to call on every single Jamaican. Look around your house, search your environment, find this mosquito.
Join the fight. Eliminate the Aedes aegypti mosquito. Stop the spread of dengue and chikungunya. And keep Jamaica Zika free.
Good day, I'm Andrea Chisholm and this is your JIS News for Thursday, January 28. At least 6 government entities may be divested through the Jamaica Stock Exchange JSE. Finance Minister Dr. Peter Phillips says the entities are likely to include the Wigton Wind Farm Limited, government stake in the Jamaica Public Service Company, SEPROD, and the assets of the Factories Corporation of Jamaica, Petrojam Ethanol, and Things Jamaica Limited.
We recognize the value of the market as an indicator of public sentiment and as an effective mechanism for broadening ownership. That is why the Cabinet has agreed to include and indeed place priority on the Jamaica Stock Exchange as one of the modalities for its privatization program.
Dr. Phillips was speaking during the recent conference hosted by the Jamaica Stock Exchange JSE. In addition to the JSE, government is also working on projects in a number of sectors to grow the economy. Both houses of Parliament have now passed legislation designed to reform electoral campaign financing. The Representation of the People Amendment Act was approved by the Senate on January 22 and previously passed in the House of Representatives on December 1 last year. Justice Minister Senator Mark Golding says the amended legislation seeks to bolster transparency and accountability of elected officials and reduce corruption and improper influence. Among other things, it establishes the National Election Campaign Fund to receive and make contributions to candidates and registered parties, as well as to promote the active participation of citizens in the electoral process. The fund is to be managed by the Director of Elections under the direction of the Electoral Commission. Minister Golding says money will only be disbursed from the fund when candidates pass all compliance requirements, adding that there is to be a total disbursement limit.
And that limit provides that the disbursement to the candidate from the fund, together with any other funding provided to the candidate, shall not exceed 40% of the lesser of the total expenditure that the candidate is permitted to have incurred in the campaign period under Section 52BI, and or the actual expenditure incurred by the candidate.
The University Hospital of the West Indies has received several critical pieces of equipment for its intensive care unit. 1 blood gas analyzer machine and 3 advanced patient monitors were handed over to the hospital on Wednesday by Guardian Group. The items were purchased from the proceeds of its Keep It Alive 5K night run. The equipment will serve patients of the UHII's intensive care unit and other areas of the hospital, including the coronary care unit and emergency room. The hospital's board chairman, James Moss Solomon, applauded the donation and said more of this nature was needed.
It's a personal responsibility. We cannot expect that the government will always have the money to give us for what our needs are. This hospital and other hospitals across Jamaica require a lot of money to bring them up to par. It is us in this room who will benefit from it.
National Security Minister Peter Bunting has underscored the need for regional countries to work together to combat a number of security threats.
These include local and transnational crime, the illicit trafficking of guns and narcotics, trafficking in humans, pandemics, natural and man-made disasters, and more recently, terrorism.
Minister Bunting was speaking on Wednesday during the opening ceremony of the 14th Annual Caribbean Nations and Security Conference at the Jamaica Pegasus Hotel. The event, which wraps up tomorrow, is being held under the theme Strengthening Regional Capacity and Fostering Cooperation to Counter Regional Threats. It's organized by the United States Southern Command and the Jamaica Defense Force.
We'll apply ourselves to finding solutions to the existing and emerging threats that face us by strengthening our regional capacity and fostering cooperation.
The rafting experience in Portland is set to be significantly enhanced as $32 million have been allocated to renovate the facilities in Berrydale and Rafters Rest in the parish. The project will be financed by the Tourism Enhancement Fund and managed by the Tourism Product Development Company. The renovation works is to start during the first week of February. The facility at Rafters Rest will get improved restrooms, upgraded electrical and sewerage systems, roof repairs, and a new loading deck. The Berrydale location will have its kitchen revamped and premises repainted. Tourism Minister Dr. Wickham McNeil says rafting is an important part of Jamaica's tourism product, and restoring these attractions is important to the sector's continued viability. And finally, Prime Minister Portia Simpson Miller has expressed sadness at the passing of master painter Professor Barrington Watson. In a release on Wednesday, the Prime Minister said Professor Watson was one of the most influential artistic figures in post-independent Jamaica. She praised him for creating an esteemed body of work that captured Jamaica's essence, heritage, and culture. In 2012, the National Gallery had an exhibition of Professor Watson's catalogue dubbed a retrospective. It included paintings and works on paper from the 1950s. Professor Watson was also a recipient of the Order of Jamaica and the Institute of Jamaica's Gold Musgrave Medal. He died on Tuesday at age 87. The Prime Minister has expressed condolences to the family and friends of the late master painter. And that's it for JIS News Today. I'm Andrea Chisholm. Thank you for watching.
When you're on the road, take your time. When you're on the road, bear this in mind. When you're on the road, you could save a life when you're on the road.
Nutritious food, succulent dishes, superior workmanship, and excellent service. Jamaica is on the go. Let's grow what we eat and eat what we grow. Let's harness the indomitable spirit of our most valued resource, our people. Let's support our local businesses. After all, buying Jamaican means building Jamaica.
Growth recorded by the agriculture sector in 2015 is expected to increase this year as the ministry continues its implementation of strategic measures. Special focus is being placed on the pork industry with the facilitation of pig production at the Agro Parks Heart Academy.
In 2012, government implemented a supply management regime to reduce the importation of pork meat. And today, the Ministry of Agriculture is reporting steady growth in the pork industry. Pork imports reduced by more than 38% at the end of 2014, coming from imports of over 3 million kilograms in 2011. The period also showed no imports of finished ham or pig parts for the production of ham. This has helped to secure the investments of local pig farmers. And to ensure that the local demand is satisfied, the Agriculture Ministry is assisting with the production of pigs through the piggery division of the Agro Parks Heart Academy in Clarendon. This state-of-the-art facility produces up to 125 pigs per month. Here, the selected breed of pig is raised in an air-conditioned-like temperature.
The type of animal is a cross between a Yorkshire and a Landrace. And what happens, we get a F1. So all the animals inside here, they are F1 gills. And this area is cool here because we have a cool cell system. It operates like the AC system with the fans that assist it to move cool air through the pen, and it cools down the animal because pigs normally operate best at temperatures of 55 degrees Celsius.
The breeding process is done through artificial insemination, and this is done twice daily. A number is then given to the animal to represent the time at which it was bred. And within approximately 4 months, piglets are born.
This genetics, it is favored by most persons because you get a large litter size and the growth rate is very high. So you have litter size up to 17, and within 6 months times you have pigs growing up to 100 pounds and probably over.
Special care is given to these little ones. Within 24 hours after birth, they are processed. Their needle-like teeth are clipped to prevent them from hurting each other and their mother during feeding. The tails are also clipped for safety reasons because you know they can easily pull on it or bite it during play. One aim of the facility is to produce infection and disease-free pigs. The males are also castrated to prevent breeding through natural contact. This piggery facility has 3 areas. First is the gestation or breeding area. 2 weeks before the gilts give birth, they are transferred to this section.
They spend normally 1 month around here, and when we wean the piglets, they go to the nursery area, and the sows go back to the gestation area to be bred again, and they normally come on to eat 5 to 7 days after they have been weaned or the piglets have been removed from them.
The last of the 3 areas is the nursery, and it does not have any cool cell system. The reason for this is to get the piglets adjusted to regular temperature in preparation for their transfer to other farms.
So when farmers buy them, they won't have any difficulty with them, or the animal won't be stressed, so they won't get slim or anything like that. And they normally spend 8 weeks here, and then they are shipped to other locations for fattening. Farmers buy them also for pig production.
The Ebony Park Heart Academy Piggery Division has been making a difference in the pig pork industry, supplying farmers with improved breed stock, contributing to agriculture and the economic development of the country.
This helps to sustain the pig industry by providing farmers with a production line, so they can always come to Ebony Park and buy pigs. Oh, and the turnaround time is really quick, so they will benefit from it, and the profitability is great.
Beautiful beaches and oceans have always been an important part of life. We can make a contribution whether we live on the shoreline or miles away.
Up next, farmers of the Agro Parks leading the charge for greater productivity in the agriculture sector.
Farmers contributing to government's strategic priorities, supporting job creation, economic growth, and putting fiscal prudence into action. Committed to growing the agricultural sector, the Ministry of Agriculture is putting some 8,000 acres of prime land under production. These have been divided across the island to form 9 agro parks in St. Thomas, St. Catherine, Clarendon, St. Elizabeth, Manchester, Trelawney and Westmoreland. The aim is to get farmers or investors producing in high volumes using best practices, growing to supply both the local and export markets. These agro parks are currently under operation, engaging more than 200 farmers who earned for themselves over $36 million in 2013. They represent just a fraction of the farmers of the agro parks who will be leading the government's target of achieving revenues of $1 billion and producing enough to cut our high food import bill. We caught up with a few of the farmers at Amity Hall in St. Catherine to discuss their participation in the venture.
The variety of crops that I've been planting ranges from sweet potatoes, tomatoes, cucumbers, and of course I'm now doing papaya, and I plant a little plantain.
And I plant peppers here. I established about 3 acres. This pepper was planted out in September of last year, and started reaping in December. And I expect to get at least 20,000 pounds per acre. It's 3 acres. And so far I've been reaping on a weekly basis in excess of 1,000 pounds.
I have 10 acres, which I have basically 7 acres on a production right now. I have almost 4 acres in potatoes. I have an acre in Scotch bonnet peppers, and I have some other small amounts like okras, pap chows, tomato, sweet pepper. In terms of the potato, basically stagger, say 1 acre at each time, which so far has been look like a healing about 12,000 pounds per acre on an average so far. That I think is a good yield.
Through funding from the Inter-American Development Bank, the necessary infrastructure such as roads, irrigation, drainage and other basic amenities were put in place to support production.
Well, one of the greatest benefits is for us to have a 5-acre piece of land with water right there. And adequate road. If it rains, we can still visit our land. It is relatively flat land. We have equipment at our avail, and that is a key element in the mix.
The farmers also received the technical support from Agro Investment Corporation, AIC, in areas such as the timing of crop planting and available markets. AIC is the agent of the government with managerial responsibility for the agro parks.
They also provide us general information about what is happening on the international arena, and that helps to kind of position us to be selective in the type of crops that we should embark on.
These men have a general love for farming and want to see the agro parks succeed.
I'm really a part-time farmer. I love farming, always involved in farming. It's really the last 2-3 years that I've got the opportunity to be farming on a more extensive basis. And so far I put in a lot, and I think I'm basically just started to reap the benefits.
And I have a love for agriculture. I was trained in agriculture, and I need to make some money. So you have to do work on a timely basis. And I believe that the other farmers in the agri park, if they make the effort and put their best foot forward, then it should be a success.
We can produce, if we have reasonable amount of these sort of parks across Jamaica, we can produce more than enough food for the country and to export as well.
The fact that the land is made available at, I would say, peppercorn rent, let's face it, let's be honest, that also is one benefit. And I believe that if we use the land and use it adequately, we can keep it for life. What we are doing here is just a demonstration. So I am anticipating that this stage of the Agro Park is the introductory phase to prepare us to take on the mega projects that are down the road.
I see myself as an important part in it and hope to do much better than I'm doing right now.
These are the farmers who are changing the face of agriculture. Their level of dedication and cooperation will lead to more jobs being created and Jamaica achieving a level of food security and eventually achieving sustained economic growth.
We want a productive Jamaica. We are not productive Jamaicans. Productivity to move forward on this land. Productivity, that's the way to go, we should understand. Productivity is the way to go for all us Jamaicans. Small business, big business, old and young, we are tell every woman and man. We want growth and prosperity for a better nation with a building plan. So we can build our product and sell our product and put more money in our hand. Our economy can rise to a level and build a better nation. Productivity to move forward on this land. Productivity, that's the way to go, we should understand. Productivity to move forward on this land. Productivity, that's the way to go, we should understand. Productivity.
Productivity, pathway to prosperity. A message brought to you by the Jamaica Productivity Center, a department of the Ministry of Labor and Social Security.
It's Earthquake Awareness Month, and the theme is Earthquake Safety. Don't be scared, be prepared. Of course, it's a given that before preparedness must come accurate information. So keep watching as we look at and learn from a simulation exercise showing how to identify if your environment or home structure is at risk of major damage from a natural disaster, including an earthquake.
Floods and earthquakes are two of the most common natural disasters. But unlike earthquakes, which usually take us by surprise, flooding to some extent can be predicted.
But when it is, what should we do with the information? And how do we safeguard ourselves and properties against this eventuality?
Through the use of revolutionary technology, awareness of the possible outcomes of a natural disaster has become more advanced. Persons are now able to use data on location, roof, and house type to create a simulation of what may happen in an earthquake, tropical storm, or hurricane.
The simulation was designed to combine place, type of structure, and event. Because Jamaica is vulnerable to four types of events: hurricane/tropical storms, landslides, floods, and earthquakes. But the same building that you live in is exposed to all four. And that same building you live in will react differently to all four.
Jamaica's landscape equally sits in low-lying and coastal areas as on hills and valleys. The country is also in an earthquake zone, so it can't hurt to do a little research on all the what-ifs, right?
You'll be able to go inside your house and see your roof being blown off, or your slab roof staying on. You'll be inside your slab roof house when earthquake shakes it comes down on you. We'll be able to have those type of simulations.
How about the possible outcome of a Category 5 hurricane if you're living in a zinc roof wooden house that is built on stilts in a river valley? So now that these predictions are available to us, just how useful are they?
This simulator is now designed to take all of that information, the conventional knowledge that we as academics know, or the disaster management professional knows, dump it online as we have. Let the developer, housing developer, have access to it and see for himself. Let the parish council person or the development approval authority play with it.
And once they've viewed it, The authorities can use the data to plan areas for development, approve or deny development applications, and build better. The simulator is not just a special effect disaster interactive tool, but one that takes into account the realities of environmental and living conditions here in Jamaica.
And the simulator also seeks to bring an awareness of the impact natural disasters may have on lives, properties, and businesses in relation to the country's national goals.
The effect a hazard would have on everything ranging from the individual to the nation is important, and scaremongering only goes so far.
The simulator allows you to either scare yourself or reassure yourself, but it's based on reality.
Another useful element to this drill is the data it uses. Historical data are planted and come to life through the simulator to facilitate emergency responses as well as forward planning in action.
Knowing where hazards are and knowing where they're not is extremely valuable information to businesses such as insurance. Instead of blanketing Portland as a hazard-prone parish, we can know which parts of Portland are hazard-prone, therefore allowing people in Portland who are not in hazard-prone areas to get lower insurance premiums. You underwrite them differently. And you also underwrite more accurately and properly the people who are in hazard-prone zones.
So, if you have already bought your dream home or are thinking of buying or building, you may want to try a few simulation exercises to test the stability of your home or to find out if where you intend to build is the best place to put down roots.
All the people them with a Zig V, hold up your hand. Zig V in the Caribbean territory, but we now want that virus take set pan we. So make sure send us stagnant water inside and mash up all mosquito breed inside. More hole in the tin them where you dash way and change the water in your vase every day. No litter, dispose of your garbage proper. You know them the thing that we turn drain blacker. Tour your community and tour your yard for suppress mosquito. We have figure hard dash we old tire turn over drum pan for prevention is the greatest weapon. And special shout out to pregnant ladies, protect yourselves and protect your babies. Draw for your zapper and your mosquito spray. If you do all that we can to keep them away. For we know what's in vain.
It's that time when we say so long, but only until tomorrow when we do it all over again. It's also that time when we try to give an inspiring note to lift your spirit. Be joyful in hope, patient in affliction, and faithful in prayer. Romans 12, verse 12. To enjoy this show again or view another, connect to our website, jis.gov.jm. We value your feedback, so send them to Jamaica Magazine at jis.gov.jm or tweet at JIS News. On behalf of the production crew, I'm Audrey Williams. Walk good.
This has been a production of the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.